So, hello guys, it's been such a long time since I've done a new update. It's been maybe half a year, and a lot of people might be thinking, what happened? What's been up? It's been a long time, maybe too long. So, let me update you with what's happening. So, yeah, 6 months, long. I've been keeping up with my Anki. I've been keeping up with my daily immersion as well. But I feel like a few things have changed. One of those things is that lately I've been doing more of a game focused immersion. So I've just been playing video games that I've just been interested in, mostly Kingdom Hearts recently. So I played Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, as well as 358 Days and a Half, if it's called that, and Kingdom Hearts 2 so far. The game's amazing because you get that full kind of immersion or understanding of the whole world, the cool world building, and everything to do with how the organization fits in with everything. So that was really cool. Just doing that in Japanese, of course. And the general difficulty of Kingdom Hearts, I would say it's not too bad. Most intermediate learners can do it, I think. Even if you're lower intermediate, you can probably push yourself and it'll be okay. Because the thing about Kingdom Hearts is a lot of the characters speak in very short sentences. They don't really use difficult words, and when they do use difficult words, you know, you could, even if you don't understand what's going on in those kind of contexts, you can still carry on with the story and understand what's happening next. One of the games which is difficult is actually the first game because they don't really hold your hand so much, so it can be quite difficult to know where to go next, especially in the Tarzan level. That caused me a lot of difficulty. So maybe you might need to consult a guide online, a video guide or something like that. But overall, it's okay. And if you're familiar to Kingdom Hearts, maybe played like one of the games in the past, then the menu system should be okay. If you're not, then good luck. You'll be fine. So yeah, and I guess because this is like an end of the year kind of video, one of the biggest things which changed this year is mostly just putting myself out there because I started a year and I was like, I need to change my life. I need to do big things in my Japanese and become more comfortable with my ability and put myself into more situations where I can use it. And because of that, I started going on Hello Talk and speaking to people every day, and they were just random people. I didn't know them, and through that, I was able to kind of get through the basic kind of jiko shokai kind of conversations and become more comfortable trying to express myself and get myself into many deep conversations and trying to understand the language as well as other people and them trying to understand me and doing that all through Japanese. It's been it's certainly been a rocky road because as you can imagine, you meet so many different people, and because it's language exchange, a lot of people come and a lot of people go. So it can be quite, stressful. It can be quite, hurtful at times because, you don't know how long people are going to stick around. Though thankfully, I do have some friends who have stuck around for a while, and, they're really cool people. And, we just talk about even our hobbies, our interests, daily life, and just what's up. So just basically normal friendship. So less of that whole language exchange. Give me some of that, language what I'm learning, and I'll give you some of the language what I know. And it's more like sort of that, but you're doing, more in the lines of friendship as well. So that's cool. I went on to Meetup and meetup.com and I joined, a couple of language exchanges and I got to know some people through there. And the cool thing about it is when you do anything in a community, it kind of just helps you kind of ground yourself and understand that you and at the place you are now is along this journey, and there's so many people at different stages of the journey. So being able to compare yourself to them, not in a bad way, but compare yourself to them, see how far they are, see how far you are, and kind of just appreciate where you are also at that level as well. It's pretty cool because what I've noticed is that at language exchanges, the thing what I had in my head about language exchange, especially meetups in real life, is that everybody is going to be really, really high level, and it's you have to be able to speak fluently, otherwise you won't fit in. And that's not the case because there's a wide variety of people, all the way from absolute beginners or people who've never even touched the language and are just interested in the language, to people who are in the intermediate stage and some people in an advanced stage. Like, I feel like when you are kind of enclosed in bubbles where there's so many advanced learners, you start to feel like maybe there is a lot of people who are really, really good at this, right? And, I really need to strive towards that. But I feel like the people at the top levels are definitely, the very small percentages of people. Because I feel like in language learning in general, the biggest percentage of people are in the beginner and intermediate stages. And after that, it starts to drop off because you really have to put in a lot more effort at the intermediate stages and above to get a little bit back. And, maybe that's the reason why, smaller percentages of people are in advanced levels because you really, really have to keep going. And some people are just comfortable at like, a conversational level as well. So it depends on your goals and it depends on where you want to get. And for most people, it's just a hobby. So, yeah. So, yeah, what happened? Why did I actually want to just do video games over doing like the manga, what I used to do, the visual novels I used to do, and the light novels? Because I used to have that kind of pattern of going between them, as well as anime. I don't know, like, I remember I did Steins Gate this year, I did Ama Iro, Chocolate, and I did Data Live. And yeah, so I did those two visual novels. And then when I got to Data Live Arisu install, I think I did 10, 20 hours of it. And then I was just like, man, I just want to play a game. Like, I've been playing so many visual novels. Then since then, I just continued as I was working as well. So yeah, it was a tricky kind of situation as I would only get like maybe 4 to, well, I'll say 3.5 to 6 hours of sleep a night. After work, I'll do like 1 or 2 hours of Anki. Then after Anki, I'll do like, my main immersion, or I might just socialize or whatever. So, and then I might have time at the end to do a little bit more, the main immersion. So there was a lot going on. So on average, I was probably doing around 2 hours minimum because I always do my Anki every day, even if I'm socializing after work, going out, meeting people. I'd always do that as a minimum. And then if I had some time extra, I'll do a little bit more, 1, 2 hours, if not more, afterwards. And then, I'll do a little bit of language exchange, like so calling on Hello Talk, and then I'll go to sleep. And calling on Hello Talk, I'll do around like at first it was like 30 minutes to 1 hour, but it starts to become like 1 to 2 hours. So on an average day, I was working for 7.5 hours, Anki and Hello Talk 4 hours. If I wasn't going out socializing, I'll do an extra 2 to maybe 4+ hours of immersion. So on average, I'll do like 6 hours every day. It was a lot. It was interesting because some of my friends were a little bit scared, and then it's like, oh, you're gonna burn out. You're doing a lot, and yeah, I didn't burn out, so that's a good thing. So that's cool. I think that's mostly it. What's been happening in the past 6 months. It's mostly the same old, same old. Just a bit more busy because I've been socializing more, pushing myself into these kind of interesting new social interactions, exploring new places, making new friends, and all that sort of stuff. And while still trying to do, immersion, even though it's probably not as much as I used to in terms of pure hours, because we have the language, well, using Hello Talk, every day for the past year, stacked on, as well as, more frequent socializing, which has cut down how quickly I've been able to get through some stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I definitely want to show, my Japanese ability someday, but we'll see if it's soon. And yeah. So I just realized this while editing. I forgot to put one little part in, and that's just a summary of some of the things that I've done this year, some of the games that I've completed this year. So I've completed Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, I've completed Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Sonic Origins, Sonic Frontiers, and the Kingdom Hearts collection that I mentioned previously, all the way up to Kingdom Hearts 2. Sadly, I didn't do some of the optional bosses, as was to continue on my journey playing other games. But yeah, they were hard. So yeah, back to the original video. one thing I want to talk about is specific members in the meetups that I've gone to, as I've met people who have learnt Japanese in so many different ways. Some people who have learned, through textbooks, I guess. Some people who have learned through just immersion as well. And there's just so many different stories going around it. It's always interesting to hear someone's journey. Like one person I met at the meetup, a great guy, he learned literally just through going to the meetups and sitting in conversations which were only in Japanese, listening to it, taking it in, nodding his head even when he didn't really understand what was going on. And then, gradually, slowly but surely, he was able to, speak, Japanese just by, inputting it in his ears, which was super cool. Another person I met recently, he literally did he was an English teacher in Japan, and he was in a city when basically almost no one spoke English, so he was just inputting just because he was just in that kind of environment, and he was the only thing he was listening to was Japanese, and then after a year it just came out naturally. So hearing those kind of situations are really cool, as well as people who already know about AJAT and immersion based learning methods and speak to them and hearing about their journey. It's also pretty good. It's cool just being in a situation where everybody's kind of talking about how they've learned. And one of my other friends, Japanese friends, he was just there like, this guy is really good at speaking, this guy is good at vocabulary, and this guy is good at just his pronunciation. It's interesting that we all have our own individual strengths and weaknesses when it comes to language. So yeah, it's something which is always kind of developing. So it's always good to kind of listen to people and get their perspective of how it's going for them. So yeah, cool people, cool times, good times. So yeah, I guess thank you very much for listening to this vlog. Like, I talked about a few things. Hopefully I covered everything. And yeah, if you got any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you soon.